right? Digital India became the umbrella policy or the flagship policy of Government of India to transform India into digitally empowered society and knowledge economy also. That was the basic target. Right? It was flagship because everything which was digital was all under Digital India and ultimately controlled by the Prime Minister over there. Right? The Digital India had three major visions to be catered. The major visions of Digital India involved that digital infrastructure as a utility to every citizen must be provided. That means availability of high-speed internet must be taken care of. The cradle to grave digital identity that is unique, lifelong, online and authenticable to every citizen. There must be a digital identity to every citizen, right? Mobile phones and bank accounts enabling citizen participation, right? Jam Trinity started with this. Easy access to common service centers, improvisation in common service center, and CSC 2.0 was brought in under Digital India, where target was with the 2.5 lakh gram panchayats, CSC were established. When then India Post was also brought in into this, and India Post offices were also converted into Jan Suvidha Kendra, where digital services could have been provided. So in total 3.67 lakh Jan Suvidha Kendra were created, are created under the Digital India program also. Easy access and shareable private space on a public cloud. Cloud infrastructure was also created. Cloud computing started with this. We have seen GI Meghraj, right? While we were discussing about the cloud systems, then it was all started with the Digital India only. Safe and secure cyberspace also, that is also taken up as the major agenda. Then governance and services on demand, that is also been taken up, where on demand the governmental e-services can be provided, like seamlessly integrated services across departments. They have been provided. Availability of the services in real time from online to mobile platform. All these services, they can be available over various platforms, web-based services and the mobile platforms. All citizen entitlement to portable and availability on the cloud systems, right? Then digital transform services for improving ease of doing business. Then making financial transaction electronic and cashless, leveraging geospatial information system GIS for decision support system and development, etc. was also targeted under the second vision of Digital India. And the third vision was digital empowerment of the citizens. Digital empowerment of the citizen for universal digital literacy must be given, right? Universally accessible digital resources, right? Availability of the digital resources and services in Indian languages. Collaborative digital platforms. Citizens not required to be physically submit government documents and certificates and DigiLocker, etc., which was started, right? For digital literacy, PM GDisha or PM Disha program was started, right? Universal accessible digital resources. Then the DigiLocker was also started. To citizen need not to submit physical document. That is also the digital locker or the cloud space. Right, availability of the digital resources services in Indian languages, that was also started, or the importance of various Indian language operating systems or the Indian language programs, they were also started. A program started by IBM also, right, over the Unix operating system, where we could have utilized the Indian language based initiatives were also taken up. Collaborative digital platforms for participatory governance, right, they were also brought in. So that was these are the major visions of Digital India. The basic implementation of Digital India depends upon the 9 major pillars that Digital India has. Digital India is targeted for various major things. The major pillars of Digital India, or 9 major pillars of Digital India, are: number 1, it is targeted to provide the broadband highways. Broadband highway means that almost a complete networking of the structure would be created, right, where broadband highway would establish a national information infrastructure, complete we can say broadband connectivity to the rural areas, broadband connectivity to the urban areas. In the rural areas, the broadband connectivity can be directed through National Optical Fiber Network, which was present earlier, right, and or through state-wide area networks for the governmental network which was to be created, right. And then a national knowledge network was also created, and then a government user network was also created for the cloud infrastructure of the government. So ultimately a national information infrastructure was created by the broadband highways, NII. which had the combination of national knowledge network, state wide area networks brought into over here, government user networks, and BharatNet. We have seen what is BharatNet, right? National Optical Fiber Network was then converted, or NOFNN, BharatNet, for the citizen user network. All of it created a complete highway where 2.5 lakh gram panchayats were targeted to be connected with the broadband, right? If in the urban areas it was all wired, in the rural areas it was wired plus the aerial networking which was also targeted, or the wireless networking which was also targeted. Then universal access to universal mobile access is also taken up, so as to provide mobile services to all the villages, to increase the mobile accessibility from 67% in villages to 100%. That was also target of it, right? Then public internet access program, where common service centers in 2.5 lakh villages by March 2017 was targeted, and 15 lakh post offices to offer multiple services. That was also brought in. Right, under this particular scheme, Common Service Center 2.0 was established. CSC 2.0, a new scheme was started. Just they were open chaos. The number of, or the type of services which were provided, they were all improved. Right, it was 1.5 lakh. This is not 15 lakh. 1.5 lakh post offices they are being brought in. Then e-governance, reforming government through technology. Multiple technologies are to be provided. Simple forms and simplification and field reduction, online application and tracking, right? Online repositories for certificates and documents, IDs and integration of the services and platforms like Aadhaar, payment gateway, etc. Automate the government workflow, redress the governance, interaction in Indian languages. All these services they were targeted, where e-governance or the e-governance related services, they were all provided through technology. And then came the improvised national e-governance program, which was e-Kranti, which was National E-Governance Program 2.2, NEGP 2.0 was brought in, which was also named e-Kranti, for electronic delivery of the services. NEGP was 1.0, it became 2.0 for educational, broadband, free Wi-Fi, online courses, e-healthcare, online consultation, record supply, full coverage in 3 years, online cash, load information for farmers, financial inclusion, e-courts, e-police, e-prosecution. All these different services, they were all targeted for transformation in quality, quantity, and the manner of delivery of services which are being provided through electronic platforms, which was made, government was made available over the cloud. The application was also designed to enable delivery of the services through mobile. So governance also started with this, right? The national GIS platform, security and electronic data preservation, this was all taken up under this, right? Various initiatives are taken up under e-Kranti. When we compare e-Kranti and NEGP, then e-Kranti is far more robust, it is more dynamic, it has web-based and mobile-based platforms which are being created for the delivery of services, where NEGP was just the initiator. And now e-Kranti is targeted towards the transformational presence, it was targeted towards the interactive presence. That was also one difference, right? And there were 31 mission mode projects which were started under the NEGP. Rather, in NEGP 2.0, the number of mission mode projects have been increased to 44. 31 remained. Additional mission mode projects have been added into this under the e-Kranti also. Then, apart from e-Kranti, we also started with the information for all, online hosting of the information and documents. Government envisages a social media, little addition to the resource needed which could have been done. Electronic manufacturing and zero imports, right? National electronics manufacturing program or plan was also started under this. IT for jobs, to provide employment through information and communication technology, and early harvest programs. Early harvest programs, those programs which need not require large scale infrastructure, they can be immediately started with a small initiative that can be taken up by the government, like we can say biometrics attendance, Wi-Fi in all universities, secure government email, hotspots in cities, or the web hotspots in cities, or the Wi-Fi hotspots, right? Then e-books, SMS-based disaster alert, weather information, all of this, these were initiation which could have been taken up immediately. So overall, Digital India was somewhere down the track targeted towards complete transformation of the digital services. Some of the notable things which were started with Digital India. Then Common Service Centers, the Common Service Center scheme, which was under National E-Governance Plan 1.0, which was started. It was 1 lakh common service centers were targeted in any GP. In E-Kranti, they have been, or in Digital India, they are now 2.5 lakh common service centers plus 1.5 lakh post offices. They are also being brought into this. They all participate with the state data center and state wide area network. They can all be linked to the open kiosk. So the governmental service delivery platform or the governmental service delivery open kiosk are the common service centers which are being provided, right? It can provide web-enabled anytime, anywhere access to the services, right? They act as the front-end delivery point for the government, private and the social sector services to the rural citizens of India, right? Which is a unique public-private partnership initiative accepted to the all state governments. That has been taken up. Then one more important aspect of the initiatives which are being taken up under the Digital India is DigiLocker. DigiLocker is a flagship initiative of Ministry of Electronics and IT and under the Digital India Corporation. The DigiLocker aims at the digital empowerment of citizens by providing access to authentic digital documents to the citizen digital document wallet. A 20 MB space can be provided over the cloud where the citizens can scan and store their documents, and a PIN can be generated, a DigiLocker PIN can be generated. Now all the documents which are stored over DigiLocker, they are taken up as self-authenticated, and they can be given or they can be shared for any sort of benefits which are to be gained from the government during the e-government related policies. Then they can be accessed also. So benefits of digital locker, like important documents anywhere, anytime, authentic documents, legality at par with the originals, right? Digital document exchange with the consent of the citizen, and faster service delivery, government benefits, employment, financial inclusion, education, health, all of these, right? It reduced the administrative overhead, digital transformation was brought in, and a secure document gateway and real-time verification of the documents have been provided by the DigiLocker, which is also one of the major benefits which is provided. Then overall, when we look up to the other initiatives which are being provided through e-governance currently in India, like DBTL, PAHEL, where direct benefit transfer, then e-district, which is in VISIAC for the district administration, e-Sampark mechanism for the government directly connecting with the citizens. These are all the e-governance initiatives which are being recently taken up. Then SMS based midday meal monitoring system, right, for the education and where the district administration can directly participate. Rapid assessment system for the national e-governance division. This system has multiple channels for receiving feedbacks which are backed by analytics, right? Assessment of the policies. PAHEL DBTL, that is also direct benefit transfer initiative. Narega Soft, which is also under the e-governance division, and it provides information to the citizens in compliance with the Right to Information Act, right? Narega Soft. Then Digital India, Digitize India platform, which is also created, aim to digitize and make usable all the existing content in different formats, media, languages, and digitizing the and creating data extracts from the document management and managing the records also. All the data which is present, governmental data, digitization of that is also being taken up with this. Apart from this, the National Ujala Dashboard, the National Career Service Portal, and the EPFO web portal and mobile app. These are some of the important initiatives which have been recently taken up by Government of India to improvise the e-governance related aspects. When we look up to e-Kranti, then under the e-Kranti itself, technology for education, technology for health and e-care, e-healthcare, technology for planning, technology for farmers, technology for security, technology for financial inclusion, for justice, technology for security. All of these technologies and initiatives, they have been brought into under the Digital India platforms also, which are the added mission mode projects to the list of the mission mode projects which have been created. Apart from this, to improvise the internal administration, Pragati, proactive governance and timely implementation was started by Government of India, where a Pragati portal has been created, where on every fourth Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. the Prime Minister meets up with the government officials, right, through a video conferencing tool. This is a video conferencing tool. It happens on every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. right. The issues are being picked up from available databases regarding public grievances and ongoing policy implementation issues also, right. PM directly interacts with the cabinet secretaries. Issues are being viewed by the union government secretaries and chief secretaries, right. And union government secretaries and chief secretaries have to put their comments and update about the flagged issue within 3 days. That is also being created so that timely implementation of the things can be taken up, and that also enables the chief secretaries and the union cabinet secretaries to participate with the state government secretaries also. So the issues relative to a particular policy implementation or paradox or paralysis, they can be sorted easily also with Pragati. This helps to bring up cooperative methods of governance, right. This decentralizes the power, and a dialogue is being established between the government officials, or a dialogue is established in the government. The communication lag which is present between center and state, that can also be reduced. The conflict reduction between center and the state can also take place, right. That is Pragati, which has been started recently. Then some of the things that we can add on to into this is relative to the benefits that can be gained. The benefits that we gain out of the we can say digital India. There are multiple impacts of digital India. What are the impacts of digital India we can take up? There are economic impacts, where improved output of all sectors in economy can be brought in. Digitalization improves output also. The reduction in imports and expenditure. Online delivery system reduces the cost, right. It would attract the foreign investment in economy also, right. Then social impact, the socio-economic facilities will equally be available to all. That means the digital divide can also be decreased, because socio-economic facility are the digital technologies also, or digital tools also. Improvement in social economic status also. Easy access to all the resources, whatever they are being present, they can be accessible to all. In short time delivery of these services, rapid delivery of these services can be brought in. Environmental impacts, it saves environment, reduces paper, reduces fuel consumption, reduces carbon emission, reduces the travel cost, and saves the natural resources also, where it can be brought in. When the economic development are being spoken of, then Digital India directly helps in boosting the core economic sectors. The agricultural sector, where agricultural literacy, better employment, availability of the information, time and correct information about soil, seed, weather, fertility, etc., linking various things like GIS we have seen, various other technologies we have seen, their role, IT technologies in agriculture, they have been spoken of. Price control and cost cutting, infrastructural development and irrigation facilities can be brought in over here. So first aspect of economy, or the first core sector of economy is being boosted. Then the manufacturing sector, ease in purchase and inventory control, wider customer base and market research, new product and mix, trade relations and competition, and employment variations can also be generated over here. Right? Various types of employment, trade relations can be improved, the new products and innovations are being brought in. The wider customer base, wider market, e-commerce is brought in over here. So e-commerce help in establishment of a larger customer base, etc. So manufacturing boost is also created. Then service sector like banking and finance would be boosted. Ease of doing it, the cost reduction, virtual branches can be created, can reach up to many people. Jam Trinity also helped into this. Growth in retail with increase of digital payments. E-payments or digital payment system they also started. Infrastructural development that saves paper, work, manpower, time and cost also, which is also improved. Growth in e-commerce, right? Of course, we have seen this over here also. New technologies in telecommunication, new forms of the innovations can be brought in, or new methods of communication are being brought in. A greater market is also created for the telecommunication. Availability of the entertainment industry, all of these they are being brought in. So ultimately this will boost the overall aspect of it. In turn, if we look up to the benefits that we predict right now, that the hyper digital growth in India will have a rapid adoption of mobility. Growth in social media would take place, more citizen services, younger workforce would be brought into, growth in entertainment, rapid innovation and broadband in every home would be targeted, would be the direct trend of the digital India that would be brought in by 2021. which was targeted, right? To 829 million users, web users, 2 billion connections, 46 GB average household traffic per month, right? And broadband speed up to 18.2 Mbps, and 83% traffic is not for is for video viewing, which is also the hyper digital initiatives which are being taken up. Impact: the second largest internet in the globe, right? Smart cities, increasing number of global startups, 20% of transactions online, digital classrooms, remote healthcare, all of these, they can be brought in through Digital India only. These are the benefits that can be gained or impacts of Digital India that we have.